Heyo, welcome to another episode of Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm in the middle of shooting up estrogen into my leg. Drusilla Adeline, welcome to another week of Bloodhaus.
What's up?
LA is under siege, and I am under a bunch of work. So it's a weird, sweaty, anxious time, and I am stuck in my house. And I'm trying to focus on the future and not the current hellscape outside of my window. How are you? How are you, Josh?
Listener, it is Sunday, June 8th. LA is under siege by ice raids and protests to those ice raids. It's a very weird time. Today is my dog Edie's birthday. She's 7.
The Audrey Hepburn of Miracle Mile?
Yes.
I can't believe she's 7.
Greyhound. 7 years old. That means she's like in her 40s, which makes her and I briefly the same age. We're both in our mid-40s, and soon she'll be older than me. Isn't that sad?
You guys are Benjamin Buttoning it.
Yeah, we are. I just love her so much. And yeah, that's it. Happy birthday, Edie.
Happy birthday, Edie. We love you. We love your shaky little self so much.
Yeah.
She's so anxious and so lovable. But she's so stylish, too. As all Italian greyhounds are.
Kind, sensitive.
Rocks a turtleneck like nobody's business.
Exactly. Hates the beach. Hates temperatures and wind.
You could be describing me with all of this, first of all.
All she likes, the only thing that she likes on God's green earth is food and soft textures.
Yeah.
Like good pillows and food.
She knows what's up.
Yeah.
She is truly, and I don't mean this as a joke even, she is living the life of an Italian countess.
She is. She doesn't even like going for walks. She hates going for walks. She truly just wants to eat snacks and lay on a pillow fully under a blanket. And that's it. That's all she wants out of this life.
I imagine that she has, I mean, I've been to your home, but like I'm fully imagining that she lives almost permanently on the most expensive satin pillowcase with like gold trim and tassels.
That's not
and that
far
she's
from
carried
the truth.
in and out of the room by like oiled, muscled Adonis men.
You know what? So we occasionally board her during the day if we're both working. She goes to this really fancy place in West Hollywood. And every time we walk up, all the dogs you can see through the window. And every time we walk up, she's being held in the air by one of the caretakers who are all like muscled West Hollywood gay men. Because she clearly like doesn't want to be on the ground with the other dogs. So she makes like one of the workers pick her up and hold her all day long so that she's above the fray.
Yeah. She needs to impose her status.
Yeah. It kind of is giving the vibe of like Cleopatra being carried by like muscle men on that big thing, that chair.
Yeah. The sedan chair.
Yes, exactly.
This is gonna sound like the worst fucking Twitter thread you've ever heard of, but you may be a socialist, but your dog's not.
No, she's not. She's like a monarchist.
Yeah, Edie's a capitalist.
Yeah, exactly.
My dog's not a socialist. What do I do?
Yeah, we joke that she has really problematic politics. Like she carries around a tote that says "I'm with her" in 2025, even though she never was with her. By her, she means Carly Fiorina, female CEO. She writes in Carly Fiorina every election. Have you watched anything cool?
I have. I think you saw this as well, but I want to talk about it because I'm going first. So earlier this week I had to get out of my house because we had a hornet infestation. Either wasp or hornet infestation, and so literally there was a bunch flying around in our bedroom.
Yikes.
And I am very allergic, so it was like, okay, I need to leave.
Yeah,
I need to not be at home today. As you know, waiting for an exterminator to come to like take care of that. So I got myself out to the AMC and to go see a movie, and I went to go see The Phoenician Scheme, the latest from our very own Wes Anderson.
Oh, yeah, I saw it last night.
And let me tell you, I loved it so much. I then went back and saw it again last night with my partner Ivory.
Oh, that's so cute.
So I saw it twice this week.
I really liked it. To me, it doesn't rank quite as high as Asteroid City, which I found so moving and sad and philosophical. But I do think that this is really philosophical too. It feels to me like Wes Anderson is, an aging artist, and he is confronting his mortality and his legacy. And I think the work is really good and really interesting.
I do too. I think also, I feel like there's a lot less of the rigidness in this movie than there was in something like French Dispatch. And because, since making Fantastic Mr. Fox, every movie that he's made, maybe not Moonrise Kingdom, but most every movie he's made since then, he's made a full storyboard animatic with an animator beforehand. So every movie kind of feels like a comic book or an animated film because it's so overly designed and every shot is so precise. There's not a lot of spontaneity, and this movie was as well, but it has a lot more of that liveliness and spark of something like Darjeeling Limited or Rushmore and stuff like that I've kind of missed. Mia Thrippleton as the daughter is incredible.
Love her.
She's amazing. She's so funny. She's so dry. It's like the perfect Wes Anderson performance style. It's like
she's so good.
Dead on the money.
The cast is like, Joel laughed in the opening credits because the cast list just kept going and going and going and going. It's so stacked. Some of those performances are so fun. Michael Cera is terrific.
Michael Cera is hysterical. Every line of his mouth has me laughing in that movie.
It's so good. I really liked Richard Ayoade as like the communist terrorist. I loved him. It's just so fun. I loved it.
I love Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright's kind of been like the absolute ringer in the last 3 Wes Anderson features. His monologue in Asteroid City is
incredible.
One of my favorite pieces of performance I've seen in a long time. And he's so good in this. And I get such a little buzz seeing him and Benicio del Toro on screen together because they came up in Basquiat.
In Basquiat. I was like, I haven't seen these two together since Basquiat. And they have really good chemistry.
Willem Dafoe's also in Basquiat and in this.
True. Yeah.
They have such great chemistry in this. Jeffrey Wright can do that like rapid fire Cary Grant dialogue like nobody's business. He's so good. But also like Benicio del Toro gives like a masterclass performance in this movie. He's incredible. So good. It's such like an old 1950s kind of performance. It feels very Clark Gable. It feels very Marcello Mastroianni. It feels very Marcello Mastroianni. And I watched an interview with Wes Anderson after I saw it the first time, where he was talking about it and saying that this was his most Buñuel-inspired movie ever. And he was like, that's why there's like communist terrorists jumping into the plot, and that's why one of the characters is like a novice nun. And all there's allusions to Viridiana, Discreet Charms of the Bourgeoisie, and Diary of a Chambermaid throughout the movie, which made me so happy. But he was also like, we were kind of writing Zsa Zsa Corda, which also like taking the name of Alexander Corda and Zsa Zsa Gabor and shoving it together is so funny. And they were like, we're writing him as if he would be played by Buñuel, and then just cast.
I love that.
Like, that's so funny to me.
I loved the Ingmar Bergman aesthetic of all the heaven stuff.
It's very Bergman, but it's also very like Color of Pomegranates too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The editing in that sequences are so good. Well, also you get Charlotte Rampling.
Charlotte Gainsbourg.
Charlotte Gainsbourg. Oh my God. So sorry. The other incredible Charlotte of international European cinema. We get Charlotte Gainsbourg and Willem Dafoe in those sequences in black and white, recreating Antichrist to a degree. Like, wild.
I loved Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston together too. I think they have a lot of chemistry together. And I don't know. I've always thought that Bryan Cranston is kind of hot. Is that crazy?
You're not crazy.
Okay. Especially in this, his like sweatsuit and like the Stanford shirt.
Oh yeah,
his glasses,
his little basketball moves. It's also very clear that Bryan Cranston has like an ability to do some of these basketball moves that Tom Hanks doesn't. There's a lot of like editing around Tom Hanks' shots, and Cranston's actually doing some of these maneuvers. That's really funny to me.
Well, Bryan Cranston is also most famous for Breaking Bad, which he's incredible in, of course. But you forget that he was the dad on Malcolm in the Middle for years and years and years, and is like a phenomenal comic actor.
He was also the dentist on Seinfeld as like a runner for years and years and years.
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course.
Who converts to Judaism for the jokes.
Yeah, for the jokes.
But he and Tom Hanks have so much chemistry. And I love the little like straw hat on Bryan Cranston. The little like bottle of Coke and chocolate bar. Like
they kind of read like a gay couple to me.
They frequently read like a gay couple. And at one point there's a throwaway line of someone calling them brothers. And I'm like, this movie's set in the 50s, but sure.
Yeah. The movie reminded me a lot of A Series of Unfortunate Events because of the addition of like the spy stuff and like, you know, codes and stuff like that.
Well, and the narration too is extremely serious and unfortunate.
Yeah. They reminded me of the gay couple that owns the mill.
Yeah.
Miserable Mill. Like that's
Sir.
Sir, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. They're so good. The whole cast is so incredible. It's incredible. So funny. It's so light on its feet. And I've seen a lot of people kind of turned off by the trailer and being like, I don't know what it's about. It looks confusing. And it's like
I didn't like the trailer at all.
But I don't think the trailer is very good. The movie itself is painfully simple. Like it's not convoluted as the title would suggest, even a little bit. I will also say Benedict Cumberbatch's physical performance is hysterical.
Yeah, he's great.
Like things that he does with his legs and with his costume are so funny. And there's a like running bit about blood with him that I think is hysterical.
Yeah.
I really, really, I like this one more than Asteroid City. I know you really, really love Asteroid City, and I like it a lot too. But
I like this a lot.
I like French Dispatch, and I like Asteroid City, but I like this more than those. This is closer up with Darjeeling and Moonrise and Rushmore, and I really like this, and I can feel that I'm going to be revisiting this one a lot in the future. It feels a lot more mature. For him, while also feeling more in step with the familial connections of his first like 5 movies.
I like him exploring violence too. That's new. That's a new thing in this movie. There's gore.
There's pretty extreme gore in the first shot of the movie.
Yeah.
That really kind of sets the tone for the rest of the movie. That's very, very jarring. There's also a scene with Matthew Almarac, who's always so good, kind of doing a Peter Lorre character, with having to pour a martini to sterilize someone's wound and then picking the olive out and eating it first. That's so charming.
I would love to see Wes Anderson do like a Vietnam movie or a World War II movie or something. I'd love to see his take on like a war. I can't say that about literally anyone else on God's green earth because I hate war movies, but he might do a good one.
Wes Anderson's Civil War, I think, would be a compelling film.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the Alex Garland, like, Civil War, not as in him covering the American Civil War that actually didn't happen. War. Yeah.
I watched a crazy movie that I texted you about and you hadn't seen it. She has a category right now on the Criterion channel. I'm talking about the French filmmaker Catherine Breillat. I've never known how to say her name.
Breillat, I think. I don't know.
It's AT at the end, so who knows what sound that makes in French. Not me. I've seen her film Fat Girl about 20 years ago, but I decided to watch her debut film, which is from 1976, and it's called A Real Young Girl, which is a gross title for a gross movie. I liked this movie. I don't know who exactly I would recommend it to. It is kind of what you might consider extreme cinema. Mm-hmm. Not in terms of violence, but in terms of sex. It is about the sexual awakening of a young girl who is on her summer break to her family farm. She's 14. I assume the actor is not 14 because we see her full-on vagina for most of the movie. I've never, as a gay man,
Jesus.
I've never gotten a close-up shot of a woman peeing before, and actually, you know what I mean? Like the real thing up close. I don't think I've ever seen a vagina up close like this before. That's not in like a porn film or something. Which is like you're just like real tight on a woman's vagina. But it's just like about her sexual fantasies, which include having sex with a real earthworm.
Oh my, what?
Having sexual fantasies of her father. It's sticking a spoon up there, which we watch. It's a lot. So I would watch it alone. It is very sexual, but also sexual in like a repulsive way. She's trying to repulse you, and it works. It's really gross. There's like a good amount of like scatological stuff and vomit stuff, and it's kind of like Singapore Sling, I guess, in that way. Like, so just like definitely not for all tastes, but pretty interesting. And if you have adventurous cinema going tastes, it's worth a watch, I would say. And as a debut film, it's very strong. I mean, this was banned around the world until 2000. So that kind of movie.
Yeah. I've been meaning to get more into Catherine Breillat. I saw maybe the first half of Fat Girl when I was in college, and first I don't know. I probably like had to go to a class or something. I wasn't able to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that she has a reputation as being like the like French female Lars von Trier or Harmony Korine of like being the like
that's kind of where she sits,
intentionally pushing buttons female filmmaker who so many of her movies are really deeply beloved but also like famously challenging. Her last movie came out I think last year or something, called Last Summer, which is about a woman who is like an attorney for abused children, who like goes on a retreat with her husband and family and then seduces a like teenage boy.
Oh.
Like falls into a like May-December relationship with like a teen boy, despite the fact that her job is to defend children who've been abused. And it's she just loves miring herself in sticky situations.
Both films that I've seen, I will say, feel hateful. It feels like she hates the audience, which I don't mean as a criticism. You know what I mean? Like I think the same is true with Lars von Trier's work.
Extremely.
And I like his work. But there is something punishing. And I will say about Fat Girl, the thing about Fat Girl is the third act. So if you didn't watch that, it's so shocking. And it's such a kind of boring, slow movie until the last 20 minutes. And then it's like, I think of it all the time. It's really horrifying and shocking. And I won't spoil it, but you would never guess what happens in a million years because it's totally random. And that's the point. But
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of her films have been restored and are on the Criterion Channel right now. So I really need to give them a go. Anatomy of Hell, Romance, 36 Filets. Like it's very much time that I give them a go. But as you put it, I'm gonna need some time to myself. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I don't want the Roman Catholic Church and the federal government over my shoulder.
Listen, with ice in these streets, you don't want to call attention to yourself, your habits, your viewing habits. Put your cell phone on airplane mode.
Yeah, don't let them track what you're watching on Criterion Channel.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, let's talk about a movie that is not hateful,
but is very challenging and full of bizarre sexual ideas.
This is a movie from 1989, a movie that I've known about for many years, but have never gotten the chance to see before. It is co-written and directed by Steven Sayedian. It is Dr. Caligari.
Every so often, there comes a movie so sick, so twisted, so incredibly insane, the critics shout,
Oscar calling, Oscar calling.
naughty, naughty, naughty.
I'm ending torment.
Meet Dr. Caligari. She's chic, she's hip, she's morally reprehensible.
She's evil. She's a flat-out sadist.
Sex Nazi.
How do I make you feel?
My feelings are like filthy prayers.
I'm a juice dog. I'm a twitching skee-ball. And you won't let me shiver.
Bon appetit.
She's the granddaughter of the infamous Dr. Caligari.
You've been pitching this movie for the show for a long time. You'd seen it, I presume, or you just always wanted to.
Oh, no, sure I've been a fan of this movie since high school.
Okay.
I've seen this movie for years. So friend of the show, Jose Gallegos, who we've had on a few times, he and I met when I was in high school on like film forums online.
Really?
Really.
I never knew that.
Through like film forums and like Facebook groups and stuff like that. And some of the other people I met through those circles have gone on to become filmmakers. And one of them is the director Celine Kapsaski. And she is really, really, really fabulous person. And she gave me so many like wacko, bizarre recommendations when I was in high school and college and stuff like that. And one of them was Liquid Sky. And one of them was Dr. Caligari. And I remember being like, that sounds crazy. I like the silent film. How do I see this? And she was like, oh, it's entirely unavailable, but there's a VHS rip of it on YouTube, and sent me the like private link to that. And that was the only way I was able to watch it for years and years and years. And I was obsessed with it. And then I came back to Indiana from college one year, and there was a VHS tape of Dr. Caligari at my Half Price Books for $0.25.
Whoa.
And so I've had that for years. And it's a screener tape. And so it opens with like an edit reel of like local LA news stations being like, a new cult film has people lining up around the blocks. Dr. Caligari is screening at the New Art. And it's like, it's a really interesting like sell tactic to try to get people to book it for their video stores. They did not. It was released by Shapiro Glickenhaus, who put out like the Basket Case sequels and Frankenhooker and stuff like that. So that should give you an idea of the tone to a degree and the audience for this. And somehow it fell between the cracks and was mostly saved by like with the weirdest cinema freaks on the internet that like will put it on lists and then take screenshots of the VHS tape and put them on Tumblr and be like, look at this fucking thing. And then finally, after years of only having my tape and a YouTube rip of a tape, in 2021, there was a 4K restoration undertaken by Mondo Macabro in collaboration with Steven Sayedian, who, by the way, Steven Sayedian had like disappeared for like a decade. No one was able to find him or contact him. And it was because he had terminal cancer and he survived.
Whoa.
He had like extremely serious terminal cancer and like just he retired and like he was battling cancer for like 8 or 10 years and miraculously survived. And like then started people, I think Mondo, not Mondo Macabre, Mondo tracked him down to do some like intros at like the Alamo Draft House in Texas and stuff like that. And then that slowly started rolling into like finding him, finding more of his body of work. His first movie, Sex Cafe, or Cafe Flash, sorry, Cafe Flash.
Yeah, Cafe Flash.
Is a really, really, really famous cult film as well. He came up making
adult films, right?
Directing adult films, as well as being the creative director for Penthouse.
Yeah.
And through his job as being the creative director at Penthouse, he left Penthouse and formed a design agency that would freelance for Penthouse and other magazines like that, but then would also design movie posters. And he designed the movie posters for his own movies like Cafe Flash and Dr. Caligari. But he also designed and art directed the movie posters for Dress to Kill and Body Double.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is
Point of
amazing.
correction, actually. He was the creative director of Larry Flint Publications, which is actually Hustler. Which is actually, it's like
different.
Much more graphic than Penthouse, actually.
Yup.
Hustler is like full on vagina.
Yeah. Anyway, it was Hustler, not a Penthouse. I'm so sorry. Let's get that straight.
Listen, somebody would write in or leave a comment on the podcast if we let that slide.
And when he was making adult films, he obviously a lot of people use pseudonyms to make adult films. His pseudonym was Rinse Dream, which is so goddamn funny. That's such a good name. But he very much had intentions to make a like proper respectable feature and not just a porn film, and Cafe Flash was his first attempt at that, even though there's still a lot of graphic sex in it. And then his producer came, he wanted to make a like true, like no hardcore, just straight down the line kind of art film or horror film, and his producer was like, hey, I like that Dr. Caligari movie, it's public domain, so you could remake it. And he was like, okay. And he was like, there already is a remake of Dr. Caligari and it's bad. I've seen it. So let's not do that. But we'll use the name.
Yeah.
That's basically what we have. I'm so glad it's been restored. The restoration is fucking gorgeous.
It looks great.
Such a stunning movie. Did you rent a Blu-ray of it or something?
No, the restored version is on Prime.
Hell yeah. Like free on Prime? Or did you rent it? Oh my God.
Free. Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. I thought I knew who Saidian was, but it turns out I was confusing him with a similar career person, Gregory Dark, who's sometimes known as the Dark Brothers, even though it was just one guy. He was an 80s adult film director, but also made a bunch of music videos and is now kind of like, broken away from the adult world into like regular cinema. So I was confusing the two of them. But it turns out I had known about Saidian because he, in the 80s, directed like a 20-page spread for Hustler magazine in collaboration with Frank Zappa.
Oh my God.
That's a tie-in to one of Frank Zappa's albums. So Larry Flint was so into it that he wanted to do a Broadway musical inspired by this 20-page spread in Hustler magazine, but then it didn't actually increase sales in the magazine, so they scrapped it. But
oh my God,
very fascinating career.
I've looked up more of the posters that he designed. So Steven Saidian, along with Francis Delia, also the majority of the posters they art directed and designed were mostly photo shoot based. Which you look at Cafe Flesh, you look at Dress to Kill and Body Double. Those are like clearly photo shoots that have nothing to do with the like characters in the movie. He also did the poster for Toby Hooper's The Funhouse. And he also designed the my favorite poster for this movie, the trash bag poster for Ms. 45.
Oh my God, I love that poster.
With the like hand and gun holding up the trash bag with the man's arm coming out. Yeah. They did that. They're like, he's so fucking talented and was so prolific. His shit's amazing. I'm so happy Dr. Caligari has been restored. And really quickly, before we get into the movie proper, the production design of it is like super famous,
so cool.
Super gorgeous. And a friend of mine is a tattoo artist, and we hang out, and her partner works in production design and prop making and things like that. And he told me that they're both massive fans of Dr. Caligari, and he's got a tattoo from the movie. And he told me that he met one of the production designers. Steven Saidian did a lot of the production design as well, but maybe one of the set dressers or something from the movie. And he told him that they didn't have any money really to make this, and that they just repurposed a lot of the sets from a Wall of Voodoo music video.
love
that I think
that.
some of the crew had worked on, and so they were like, okay, we'll just take this and put it over here.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like doors and archways that are very German expressionism, very Tim
Pee-wee's
Burton,
Playhouse.
very Pee-wee, yeah. And that's what Wall of Voodoo was doing too on their album
Right.
covers and in their music videos. So they were just like, all right.
I mean, the
very
movie looks like a new wave music video. You know,
Yeah.
like it's living in that aesthetic. It's all filmed on sound stages. It kind of is in the realm of like
Black box theater almost.
Black box theater. But I was going to say movies like Forbidden Zone,
Mhm.
even Shock Treatment,
Almost like a Day Glow Eraserhead.
Yeah, yeah. It's all very intentionally artificial, handmade.
Yeah, it's like a black box soundstage.
Yeah.
Where it's just black void all around, but there's dirt all over the floor. And then there's like haze and smoke that hangs in the background and stuff.
Who's that French filmmaker who made Conan the Barbarian and The Wild Boys and Blue,
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You know?
Yes. Oh my god, who I love so much. Bertrand Mandico.
Yes.
Bertrand. So Bertrand made She Is Conan, Apocalypse After, Wild Boys being my favorite. It's very, very heightened. I mean, I would also say that, Fassbender's Querelle is in there. Pink Narcissus is very much in that same vein.
To some extent, Shock Treatment. I mean, Shock Treatment's a bigger budget than these other movies we're mentioning, but
we should program a film festival of this stuff.
I said it during the Cook Thief Wife Lover episode. Like, I love this aesthetic of like being on a soundstage and faking everything. I think it's great.
Leaning into the artifice of it. I mean, in the same way that Wes Anderson does, Dr. Caligari also leans into the artifice and theatricality in the performances as well. The performances in this movie are very stilted and very specific, and characters will like say a monologue this way and then turn to the camera and finish the rest of the monologue direct to camera.
Very theatrical. It's almost like dance. It's also
extremely.
kind of tapping into like the way that a silent film looks in terms of the performances. So it's really cool.
It's very like Pina Bausch almost, like dance movements. There's a whole big sequence at the beginning of this movie that's entirely silent.
Yeah.
That like feels like it's like if Pee Wee Herman and Tim Burton made a Brian De Palma script for a little bit. It is like batshit.
It's very arty, but it's also got some porny elements. I mean, there's a lot of boobs. You can almost imagine this playing on Skinamax at 2 a.m. in the late 80s, early 90s.
It feels too arty, and it feels too like intentionally funny. To be and like very too like visually odd and in your face to be like genuinely taken as porn. And listen, there's never any unsimulated sex scenes. I don't think there's even like proper sex scenes. There's just a lot of masturbation or like heightened.
But it does feel porny.
Like
you know what I mean? Like it's in the. You can tell that he directed porn films because it feels like a porn film in terms of like the quality of the acting, all the boobs. You know what I mean? Like that is in the mix artistically.
Yeah. It's significantly more subdued than something like Cafe Flesh or you know other more extreme films like that. But I mean, I feel like it is probably, like you said, closer to Forbidden Zone, but without the racism.
Yes, without the racism.
I mean, there's even, to a degree, you could make a comparison to Singapore Sling there a little bit too. I think Singapore Sling's more sexually explicit,
much more
than Caligari by a long shot. Caligari like talks about sex more than it depicts sex, but it talks about sex and it explores sex and gender in really like intentionally provocative ways that I think have aged beautifully. I think the aspects of this movie that would have been like edgy and stuff in 1989 are like kind of wholesome to some extent in 2025. Well, there's a very interesting injection procedure that happens throughout this movie that like you could absolutely see other movies like playing for comedy or sex or hijinks and stuff like that, which, you know, feels like a throwback to like bizarro 60s and 70s like sexploitation and transploitation movies.
Yeah.
But like there's at least one scene of like extreme earnestness where a character delivers a monologue that is like soul crushing, that kind of comes out of nowhere. And like, is it weird to say that I cry every time I watch Dr. Caligari?
Yes,
there's one scene in this movie that I cry every time I see this movie. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And on the performance level, we should say there's at least one recognizable face in the. I think all the performances are great, but there's at least one like recognizable face in the cast, and that's Fox Harris from Repo Man.
Yes.
Playing the like owner of the Caligari Institute, who is absolutely being duped by Dr. Caligari.
Yeah.
To his detriment.
I thought, interestingly, all of the men are really good. And then the women they feel like people he knew from porn films or something. You know, not that they're bad, but it just like the men feel like real actors and the women feel like porn actors.
They are real actors. None of the performers in this movie are porn actors.
Yeah. Well,
I think the lead actress, not the actress playing Dr. Caligari, even though she is doing a great job, but the actress playing Miss Van Houten is really good. I love her performance in this. I think it's like really unhinged. I think it's really funny. I think it's really dialed in to a specific frequency. She does some things in her performance vocally that I think are so funny, and she does the little like swim motions and like she can do a little bit of overacting with her eyes and like the kind of silent
she's doing
portion
it on
at the beginning.
It's a choice.
But it's very, very true. I think the best performance of the movie is by the cannibal.
Oh, really?
I think his performance is incredible.
What's his name? Gus? He's great.
Yeah.
Gus Pratt.
The actor's name is John Durbin. He's
great.
He did like Steven Soderbergh movies and Altman movies. He's in Tapeheads. He's in Return of the Living Dead. He was in Doll Man. He's had a like career. He's so good in this. He's so
really good.
Funny.
I agree that it's the best performance. I also like the performances of the married couple that kind of talks in that really artificial way where they're turning to camera a lot.
Oh, the brother and sister couple?
Yeah. I liked the man in that couple a lot. I thought he was really good. And then he's had a really interesting career where he's like if you look at pictures of him now, he's got like really long hair, like Bob from Twin Peaks. He's like a really eccentric guy who's produced a bunch of movies. But I really like the two of them. I feel like this has some real similarities to Shock Treatment. Like it would be a really great double feature.
This would be an incredible double feature with Shock Treatment.
It has brother-sister couple. It has people trying to rescue a patient from psychiatric care. It's all done on a soundstage and has that artificial aesthetic. It'd be a great double feature with Shock Treatment.
I think this movie is absolutely hysterical. I mean, talk about like a midnight double. Like those two would be so good. And also movies that I watched obsessively in high school, only on YouTube because that's the only place they were existed at the time.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, because I kept thinking of Shock Treatment and Forbidden Zone specifically, I was like, this should be a musical. Like, where are the musical numbers? That was my big criticism, was like something about this, like, despite the incredible style and look, it feels like it needs something to me. And maybe it's because I watched it at home alone on television rather than in a theater or with a big group. But I just felt like, give me some musical numbers or give me some porn. Give me like something. I just wanted something more oomphy. That's all.
I think the movie has enough oomph on its own. We should get into the plot a little bit.
Sure.
What plot there is.
So It's a semi-sequel spinoff, like Shock Treatment is to Rocky Horror, of the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Our Caligari is the granddaughter of the original Caligari, and she is doing wild sexual experiments on patients, including one Mrs. Van Houten, who she's kind of got trapped.
Well, Miss Van Houten was treated and cured until she wasn't.
Until she wasn't, so she needs to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Van Houten's husband wants to get her back. Also, there's like kind of a rival scientist who he and his two adult siblings who we talked to, children, his daughter who's married to whatever. There's another rival family of scientists who are trying to stop Dr. Caligari. And that's kind of it. I mean, everyone's trying to rescue Mrs. Van Houten from Dr. Caligari and sort of put an end to her evil experiments.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there are other patients throughout the the quote unquote asylum. Again, black box stage with a handful of like pink doors that open in and out, and then some very David Lynch Twin Peaks: The Return looking like artifice around. How the man from Another Place in Twin Peaks, by the reboot, they couldn't cast that actor again. So they replaced him with like a twig with like some clay on top of it. I feel like that is what a lot of the production design of the asylum looks like in this movie. You're like, oh yeah, that thing over there that's sticking out of the dirt. That thing.
I have one criticism of the aesthetic. And I only pointed out, it's quibbling, and I only pointed out because the aesthetic is so good that this is my only criticism of it. I really dislike both the color and the font of the titles. Because
really?
It reminds me of like an early 90s font that would be like the font of a pizza parlor. Or in my hometown.
It got co-opted afterwards, yeah.
In my hometown, there's this place on Main Street that opened in the early 90s and has never changed their branding. And it's like the kind of place where you come in and paint a coffee mug or whatever.
Oh, like a Color Me Mine.
Yeah, but it's called the Dancing Brush. And it has the same font and color treatment as the font in the opening titles of this. I think it's ugly. That's all. I don't like the font. I don't like the color. The colors.
Oh, I just found the logo for the Dancing Brush. Yep.
Dancing Brush, Pulse by Washington.
Yeah. It also looks like the title design and art direction for the movie The Blue Iguana too, which is also from like the late 80s, early 90s. That was very like hip and in. And here's what I'm going to say, Josh. That kind of design stuff, maybe not fully to that degree, but that like logic is back.
Oh, I know.
In design circles, like it's really back. A friend of mine who is a graphic designer and art director in the music space, she does a lot of album covers and stuff like that, and like tour merch, is super like big new wave fan and big like vision, like into that visual aesthetic a lot. That kind of Atlas, Atlanta, fucking what's it called? Memphis design.
Memphis design.
Stupid. Yeah, that very like Memphis design. And she recently watched this movie on my recommendation and was like, "Oh my god, this is the most beautiful thing. I'm going to be ripping this off in so many ways." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's back. This aesthetic is back.
It's incredible.
It's
the aesthetic is good. It's just the font that I don't like. That's all. The colors of the font and the font itself. That's all.
I like
what font.
Little.
Since you're a designer,
yes,
and we can talk about fonts. Like the one that I miss the most is the kind of like almost like it's like the font of the movie Creep, kind of, or the
like handwritten scratchy
font. That I like that font. I wish that would come back.
That first of all, it's not a font. It's just handwritten kind of stuff.
Well, I know
that was so big in the mid 2000s. Well, mid 2000s and early 2010s.
But you're talking about like the Ray Dunn kind of like Addams Family font.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about like Neil Kellerhouse kind of, again, Creep, like very, very thin, very scratchy. The Addams Family one, That is
That's too twee. That's not what I'm talking about.
That is a throwback to Pablo Ferro. And
Yeah.
I think Pablo Ferro actually did the Addams Family titles, but Pablo Ferro did the titles for Stop Making Sense, Doctor Strangelove. Like, he's very, very, very well associated with that.
Maybe it's I'm thinking of the movie Memento. Yeah, like the font for the movie Memento. Like almost animated, you know what I mean? It's handwritten but kind of animated, so it like shakes around a little bit.
Gone over and over and over a lot.
Yeah.
I don't see that coming back.
It's going to come back at some point. Everything comes back.
Everything comes back. That's true. I feel like late 90s, but we talked about this a little bit last week when I brought up Ever After. But like a lot of design choices in the late 90s were very much like, how can we beat this up and grunge this up, but in like a pretty way? So a lot of even if it was like text, even if it was like a sans serif type, it was then like had treatments and extrusions and like it like was like bubbling at the edges, and it's like softer and it like has texture to it and like overlays, and like it's not just one color, it's got some like yellow pops on the rim and stuff like that, and that is also out of fashion nowadays. Well, if you do anything like that,
I'm using it in my next film.
Any creative director, well, it's the very like, you would steal this car, like the like font to Scream, kind of like the
complimentary
Scream, right? Maybe that will come back. Maybe that will come back. But we'll see. I personally, my favorite typographic choice in Dr. Caligari is the little like booth she has set up, which to me always reminds me of the like Peanuts like psychiatry little like lemonade stand kind of thing that she has. That Dr. Caligari sits behind, has the big sign that says Dr. Caligari. It has like an exclamation mark at the end, and the seat looks like Pac-Man and stuff. I love that fucking thing. I love it.
It's so good.
And like, she's sitting there, and the woman's just saying chinchilla a bunch of times, sitting there as she like pets her, and then she like goes down on her. This movie's so goddamn funny, but it's also like a feat of practical effects, and it's like deeply fucked up. The scene with the like wall.
I loved that. That's my favorite part, with the tongue, where she's like making love to the giant tongue. I loved that.
And there's like oozing sores that like open up on the wall, and like some orifice that's just kind of start like vomiting almost, but they're like a Y-shaped orifice that just like I
also love the exterior of the insane asylum, which is of course like a miniature with like toxic waste rivers all around it. And I mean, the production design is like phenomenal in this. What did you think of the older man doctor who like changes genders?
Fox Harris. So there's two characters in this movie. I mean, to a degree, three. I don't know. There's at least two characters in this movie that have their genders transed by medical science. Mm-hmm. So, kind of what I mentioned earlier, the Dr. Caligari of this movie develops a frontal lobe treatment where she puts a little metal port on the forehead of her patients, and then takes a syringe and injects it into their pineal gland, and like pulls out a little bit, and then gives a squirt into like the other person who has a port on their head, and is basically transferring personality traits physically between human beings. So for instance, Miss Van Houten, who is institutionalized for nymphomania, and the patient that's being institutionalized for being a southern cannibal who cooked up that school teacher real nice. Like, he's got such like a John Waters accent. It's so he's so good.
He's really good.
They get the treatment, so she comes out of it as a cannibal and basically and wanting to cook her husband, and basically like kind of like picks up the southern accent. It's not like a full like that person is now in this body. It's like a fusing, which is a lot more subtle and very interesting. and then Miss Van Houten's nymphomania is injected into him, which is, played for comedy to a degree. And then we get like a really earnest scene of that character in a bedroom with two lesbian lovers, like striving to be seen as a woman. And that's like one of the most heartbreaking depictions of trans identity that I've seen, and it's buried in a bizarre exploitation movie. It's genuinely super earnest. The monologue is really well written, and it's really, really, really affecting. They screened the restoration at the LF3 in like 2021 or something like that, and Steven Zaadian came with a few members of the cast and the co-writer, and I got to meet him after, like, shake his hand and thank him for that scene because it did a lot for me. When I was growing up, like that scene did a lot for me when I was in college. But then there is also Fox Harris, the guy driving the Malibu Repo Man, who plays the owner of the Caligari Institute, that, like, the head of the board that she has to answer to. And when his kids are suggesting that she might be up to no good, he goes to meet with her to make sure that everything is above board. And when he finds that things are not, he is then strapped down by Miss Van Houten and given a similar injection from Miss Van Houten's nymphomania glands or fucking whatever, and kind of goes through a similar transformation. And so comes out a lot more femme, and then spends the rest of the movie in drag. There's a lot of Mamie Van Doren jokes at his expense, which are really funny.
They are funny.
And gets like wheeled out through the asylum on like a hand trolley, which is there's also like so many beautiful like slow motion shots through the like ward of the asylum that are really haunting and really unnerving. Like I say, that character is treated a little bit more for comedy. It's very much, we're going to put Fox Harris in a blonde 50s wig.
Dress him up like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. And that stuff is played for humor. And to a degree, like, I don't love some of that. However, I will say, I think it's fully counterbalanced by the John Durbin, Gus Pratt sequences that are so earnest and are not played for humor at all, that I think are really impactful and give you a broader perspective of what this movie's approach to gender and sexuality is. I don't think for 1 second that this movie hates trans people. I don't think for a second that this movie,
I don't think so either,
is sexualizing or vilifying with like female sexual desire or queer sexuality. I think this movie is like in support of female sexuality and is lampooning the kind of conservative fear of female sexuality. The way the husband is like horrified that his wife wants to sleep with him sometimes 3 to 5 times a week. Like
in a way, the politics are similar to, God, we're just talking about Richard O'Brien all the time, but Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I think has really radically liberatory gender and sex politics for its time, which can now be read uncharitably, I would argue, as in some way retrograde or transphobic, but actually taken in the context of when and where they were created are very affirmative and liberatory.
I don't think there's, I mean, granted, this is a lot more of a cult film. It's only kind of just now building an audience again. But I don't really think, I think Dr. Caligari is aged beautifully with time. Granted, there are some elements that aren't perfect, and that may not have aged as well as some others, but like I everyone that I know that has seen it from a contemporary lens has like gotten a lot out of it. And I mean,
I agree. Actually, I think in both cases, for both films, to read them as transphobic or in some way retrograde is to be willfully uncharitable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're like cruising to be offended by something. Yeah.
Exactly. I think this movie is really, really, really impactful and incredibly inspiring. This is whenever I'm like trying to do something for myself, whether it's a photo shoot or writing a script or something like that. This is one of the like few pieces that I reach to the most.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, and you know, I recently talked about Repulsion and
Carnival
of Souls is that's like these are kind of the things that float around in my DNA of like this all of these things, the tension of those things, the beauty of the black and white in those things, the stunning day glow colors of these, the like surrealist abstraction of all this stuff. And like again, it's very easy to be like, oh, he worked at Hustler, he made porn. He's just some weird white man that's just out to make porn and sexualize women. And like, he's incredibly intelligent. He's incredibly well read. He's very intelligent about art. And he is actively making art in the manner that would allow him. That's how he could make a budget. And he is someone that is like, very into the more extreme ends of what you can do with the artistic process, and sometimes that leads into, you know, the easiest way to get funding for that is through that. And you know, he did a good job at it. Like the shit he created directed is gorgeous. It's funny now meeting him in a screening. He went to the screening of Dr. Caligari with his wife and his kids. His like daughters are like teenagers. I was like, he's like a family man.
It's harmless.
It is harmless. It's in no way pornographic. Like
right.
And the sex that is on display is either A, masturbatory, or B, sapphic. Like it's there is a great scene with a scarecrow that is
yes.
Someone tries to give a blowjob to a scarecrow.
Yes.
It's
a pretty hot scarecrow.
yeah, with his big like plastic pompadour.
Yeah.
It's like a very like drag king pompadour.
Yeah, very Max Headroom for anyone old enough to know that reference.
There's a photo piece that Steven Sayedian did called My Red and White Acrylic Dream. That's like a recreation of like food mascots, but with like hot ladies. And so, but they're all like on a soundstage, kind of like this. There's like barbed wire everywhere and smoke. And it's like a woman dressed up as Bob's Big Boy with like a plastic headpiece doing the Bob's Big Boy curl. And then there's a woman as the Morton Salt girl behind her. And she's got like cheese holes cut out in the umbrella and in her top, like right over her breasts. Yeah. And she's carrying the salt. There's there's a black woman dressed as Aunt Jemima. Like it's crazy. But
if I could get a photo book of his somewhere.
I would love one. I don't know if one exists, but I think that is something that I would love to see him put out. I would love to see the original photos of. Oh yeah, he also did photography and art direction work for Escape from New York. Wow. So like he took photos of Kurt Russell for Escape from New York, like, or maybe it's a body double, but I think it's Kurt Russell. His work is so gorgeous. He did the cover for Call of the West by Wall of Voodoo. Like his work is so fucking gorgeous.
It's cool.
I would love a photo book. So, you know, I doubt he's listening to this, but if you are, let's get something going. I know some publishers. I know some people at Tashin. Let's get this going.
Well, I was really glad to cross this off the list. Super interesting movie. I'm glad I finally saw it.
What was the scene that you had seen previously? Because you'd only seen a single scene from this movie.
I don't know what it was. I just remember it felt like so Daniel Handler, who is Lemony Snicket, sent a YouTube link to me 10 years ago when I worked on a series of unfortunate events that was like, have you seen this movie? And all I remember about it was that there were a lot of people on screen to the point where it kind of felt like quite on or something, where it's just like, who are all of these people? So I was trying to figure that out, but I couldn't recall. But it had like a lot of people in frame. It felt like a packed tableau. So I can't recall.
Could have been Cafe Flesh.
It might have been. Could have been. I don't know. Let's play our favorite game. Have they seen it? Where we speculate wildly whether notable people have seen this movie. We've talked about Forbidden Zone, which was of course made by the band Oingo Boingo. Do you think famed composer Danny Elfman has seen this movie?
The devil of the Forbidden Zone himself, Danny Elfman. Yeah. I think so.
Probably
I feel like
back in the day, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it was like, treated as like a cult art house thing that had like a short run in theaters here in LA at the time. And I recently picked up an original poster for this movie at Hollywood Book and Poster in Burbank. And the original run of posters, they like printed out like an LA Times review clipping, and every single poster then had that affixed to it. So mine still has one on it. And so like it was, they were trying really hard to treat this movie as like a great new art house fair, like go challenge yourself down. This is the new Pink Flamingos. This is the new Koyaanisqatsi, like go challenge yourself kind of movie. I feel like there's a world in which like I'm probably going to get too many have they seen it's in one on this, but I feel like there's a world in which Danny Elfman, Mark Mothersbaugh, Paul Rubens, and Tim Burton all went to the movies together and saw this.
Totally.
Or like they all went separately and were like, did you fucking see this thing? And they were all like...
I feel like Danny Elfman would have said to Steven Sayedian, like, hey, have you seen my movie Forbidden Zone?
Right.
Like,
I feel like Richard Elfman, Danny Elfman's brother who directed Forbidden Zone, I feel like he absolutely called up Sayedian after having
he would have been mad, I think. He seems like he would be ungenerous with this. I don't know.
I've met him. Rick's a nice guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a great photo on the internet somewhere of him wearing only like underwear after some like cabaret performance, holding me up over his head.
Oh my gosh.
He's a funny dude. He's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that whole like Pee-wee's Playhouse scene, like Ali Willis, who's
there's like a lot of Groundlings people.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of them probably would have seen this at the time. I feel like, it's fair. I'm still broken up over his passing, but I feel like had we been able to attend a Paul Rubens estate sale, that a VHS copy or a Laserdisc copy of Dr. Caligari probably would have been in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if it wasn't, let's be honest. So this movie is, as we mentioned, has like very heavy new wave aesthetics. And when I think about new wave music, there's one band that kind of rules that roost more than others. And one of the members of that band then directed a movie around the same time as this. Do you think that David Byrne of the Talking Heads has seen Dr. Caligari?
That's a great question. Gosh, I don't know, but here's the thing. Caligari, for whatever reason, feels like a very LA movie to me.
And he's very New York.
And he's very New York.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you have to remember in 1989, the world was not as
connected.
Samey. Yeah. Connected, thank you. That's the word, as it is now. So for that reason, my gut says no.
Yeah.
And this movie was not the giant cult phenomenon that
they wanted it to
be. Yeah. So I want to say no.
Yeah, I could see that. And I feel like if he watched it today, I don't know if he would get as much out of it, but if he watched it in 89, maybe. I think by that point he was already on to like Ray Momo and stuff like that.
He was so huge by 1989.
Yeah.
Almost to be mainstream, or to be mainstream.
He was fully mainstream in 89. And he was, I think that's when Naked came out, their last album. So like, yeah. I don't know. And they also famously weren't touring at that point. So
Yeah. I wish we could do an episode on True Stories, but it's not a horror movie. I love
know.
that movie so much.
Well, if we ever made a
Huge fan.
Patreon, then we could do
It's true.
Patreon episodes
Non-horror.
where we do non-horror episodes of like, we just want to
Yeah.
talk about true
This art house
stories.
movie. Yeah.
Please, I want to talk about Zazie Dans La Metro. There's no other way to talk about Zazie. If you're interested in that. Yeah, I also feel like he probably hasn't seen it, but it's a shame. Prince probably saw it though.
I'd buy
I feel
that.
like Prince saw it. I feel like Prince saw it. This feels like a movie Prince would dig. It's
Yeah.
horny enough for him.
Speaking of like people associated with the Groundlings in LA at this time, do you think that Cassandra Peterson, aka Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, had seen this?
Absolutely. I definitely think she's seen this movie. I feel like this is a movie. I feel like she probably went to like a premiere of this with friends in the
She'd
late
be into
80s.
this, don't you think?
She'd be into this. And if somehow she made it out of the 80s and 90s without having seen this movie, I feel like if you showed this to her today, she would love it. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like she would absolutely adore this movie.
She's the best.
She's the absolute best. So this movie has a great cult actor in it, Fox Harris, who we know best from Repo Man. And I could ask whether or not you think Alex Cox has seen it, but that also feels like an obvious yes.
Yeah, totally.
I don't
He's
think
seen
there's a
everything
world
cool.
in which he hasn't seen this. So I'll push it a step further. Do you think Harry Dean Stanton ever got a chance to check out Dr. Caligari?
Ooh, now that is interesting.
David Lynch's best friend, Harry Dean Stanton.
Star of Pretty in Pink, Harry Dean Stanton.
Jack Nicholson's best friend, Harry Dean Stanton.
I wish he was still alive. He's like such an incredible actor.
I know. And such an incredible presence. I assume you've seen that interview with him where they ask him about what he thinks is going to happen after he dies. And he's like, nothing. I will return to nothingness. I love him.
I want to say no, just again, because the movie was pretty underseen for most of its existence. I think he would like it or be into it. I think he could have. I mean, he's like connected in these weird circles enough that he might have, but for some reason my gut says no, so I'm going with my gut.
Yeah, I mean, I could see, HDS having people be like, "Oh, yeah, cool." Having be like, "Oh yeah, I was in this, and it's over at the New Art this week," and him being like, "Okay."
Wait.
He's like, "I'm going to be in Red Dawn this week, so I can't do that."
I have a similar one just as a bonus round. This person is very connected to new wave music and new wave cinema in a way that people don't know per se. Bill Paxton. Do you think Bill Paxton saw this? Yeah, he was in a new wave band. He directed a bunch of new wave videos.
I know he was in like Taking of Tiger Mountain and stuff like that. That's interesting. What band was he in?
I can't remember, but he directed the video for Fish Heads, Fish Heads, Fish Heads, Fish Heads, Lovely. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
He directed the music video for that.
That's
crazy. He was like very connected in new wave circles.
Then I will say Bill Paxton, yes. Bill Pullman, no.
Bill Pullman's a no.
Bill Pullman's a no. Bill Pullman's a no.
As much as I like him, charming as he is.
Oh, I love Bill Pullman. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He was on this. He was probably busy on the set of Spaceballs or something like that at the time.
Totally.
I will slip in a quickie as well. Steven Zayadian designed 2 posters for Brian De Palma. Maybe Brian De Palma's 2 best posters. Do you think the man himself, Brian De Palma, caught a glimpse of Dr. Caligari?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I probably. There's a great interview.
Do you think he liked it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think he laughed his ass off the whole time. I don't think he ever found it erotic. I don't think he ever found it moving. I don't think he ever found it scary. I think he just like howled with laughter the whole time. There's a wonderful interview with Steven Zayadian on the Criterion Blu-ray of Dress to Kill, which, you should also get the Arrow one because we're on it giving commentary. But the Criterion one has an interview with Steven Sayedian, which is a crazy thing to get the poster designer to do an interview, but I think it's adorable. And he talks about designing the poster for Dress to Kill and for Body Double a little bit, and then mentioned that there is a parody of one of the shower sex scenes in Cafe Flesh, and he was like, "Oh, I feel really bad that I kind of did that, and like, oh God, I hope Brian doesn't see this and get mad at me." Yeah. And then he was like, and then Brian De Palma put out his list of like his favorite movies of the year for like LA Weekly or something like that, and Cafe Flesh was in there, and he was like, "Okay, earned it."
I really want to see Cafe Flesh.
I have a tape of it, but Mondo Macabro just put it out on 4K and Blu-ray, and so I think their limited editions always sell out instantly. So I think a standard like version will come out soon, so that will be available for rental. And if you found this on Amazon, then fuck, this should be on Prime soon. Good God. Cafe Flesh is a weird one. My friend Iris just watched it for the first time and called me after and was like, "What the fuck did I watch?" And I was like, "Do you want to come over and watch Caligari?"
Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Bloodhaus. Please rate it wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, Letterboxd at BloodhousePod. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. Drusilla, where are you?
You can find me and my work over at sisterhidedesign.com. I've got a whole bunch of stuff I just wrapped up that is going to be coming out very, 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 very soon. So go check out that over there. I'm also taking work right now. So if you need a book cover or poster or something like that, hit me up over at sisterhidedesign.com. You can also follow me on Letterboxd at Drusilla Adeline or Sisterhide. And you can see all the movies I've been watching in between rounds of the Phoenician scheme. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky at sisterhide. What about you, Josh? How can people peek through your windows and see what you're up to in the bath?
I'm at Joshua Conkel on Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and Instagram. Next week, we are watching a big one, a big famous classic of the art house independent genre. What are we watching?
If you're sick of us talking about weird exploitation movies and weird sexy queer films, good news! We're doing a normie pick, but we're doing a very independently made, a very racially progressive, and very thrilling normie pick, and one of the most beautiful independently made black and white films of all time. We will be taking a trip to Pennsylvania to Wake the Dead with George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
We're coming to get you, Barbara.
Thank you for
that.
Bye. Bye.